So in this gate of your AEI, this time they have included a small part of your electrical machines, which comes for your electrical engineering only, but some part of it is taken from there and given in your syllabus also. Those parts which are mentioned in your syllabus had already been taught to you in the first year. For electrical, you will use that basic electrical engineering always, but in case of AEI, I think you have forgotten most of the things. So we'll start from the basic thing. Okay, so two machines they have given in your electrical machines. One is transformer, that is only single phase transformer. In electrical, we have three phase also. So three phase is out of the scope of our syllabus. We'll study only single phase transformer. That will be my first topic, which will discuss single phase transformer, solve problems and all. And then next we'll go for three phase induction motor. These two topics only you have in from electrical machines, and most of the things were covered in first year. Additional things are also there, we'll come to it. Okay, and please keep pen and paper with you because this is gate class, not a semester class, so you need to solve problems also. I have many problems over here, you need to solve and tell me the answers. I need to check whether how you are understanding or applying the logic. And one thing you everyone মাইকটা সবাই অন করে রাখবে, হ্যাঁ, মানে মিউট করে রাখবে, যখন দরকার হবে কিছু প্রশ্ন করার মাঝখানে আটকেও প্রশ্ন করতে পারো, আমার কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। So we'll start with single phase transformer. Basic definition: when we say a single phase transformer, a person says that it will step up or step down the voltage which is given at the input. Means the transformer is either a step up transformer or a step down transformer. This is a basic definition which a layman will say. But what it is actually means, as an electrical engineer will say that it is actually an electrical machine which transfers your electrical energy from one circuit to another electrical circuit. Means it is a medium of transfer of energy, electrical energy only, not any other form. Means electrical energy is converted to electrical energy only using this transformer. Yes, obviously you are stepping up the voltage or stepping down the voltage according to the needs. And what is the medium used over there is a magnetic field. So my first statement is a definition of a transformer that states that it transfers electrical energy from one electrical circuit to another electrical circuit through medium of magnetic field without change of frequency. There will be no change of frequency. Whatever supply you are giving, your frequency at the supply will also be available at the output also. Suppose in a common AC supply is given in our house, it is 50 hertz. At the output also will get some voltage, some power at 50 hertz only. No change over there. Now next point, it is also called as a electromagnetic conversion device. It is a machine, first of all, which converts one form of energy to another. Means keeping the same form, but it transfers energy from one side to another, and it can also be called as an electromagnetic conversion device. Why? Because in the input we are giving electrical energy, then there is a magnetic medium, it is converted into magnetic energy, and then from that magnetic energy again at the output the electrical energy is reconverted. So we are actually using a magnetic medium where first electrical to magnetic energy is done, then magnetic energy is again converted into electrical energy and fed to the load. So we can say it as an electromagnetic conversion device also. Next thing, third point, it operates on two laws. What are the two laws? One very important law, the most important law, is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So what happens to a Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? So you know the mathematical statement, the net EMF in a closed loop will be equal to number of turns into change in flux enclosed by that loop. So E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. When N is the number of turns, phi is the flux produced in that loop. and E is obviously your EMF. And why this negative sign comes? Because of your Lenz's law. This negative sign comes because of your Lenz's law. So that's why the next law is your Lenz's law. So obviously when you are giving a supply in a transformer which is AC supply, in order to oppose that, because of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, an opposing effect will be produced. That will be a EMF. We are giving a supply voltage V, and EMF will be produced which will act in opposite to the supply voltage, that is E. And that direction is given by Lenz's law. It always opposes the source. Lenz's law states that the direction of induced EMF is such that it sets up a current opposing the change of flux responsible for producing the EMF, or whatever the cause is there, it always opposes it. So that's why this minus sign comes over here in EMF. I hope this transformer definition is clear and what principle it operates. We'll use this principle and find out what is there in transformer. Just I'm trying to clear out what a transformer is and on what principle it operates. And mostly among all the electrical machines, that is, if you have heard of motors are classified into many parts. I'm not many things according to the supply AC, DC motor. I'm not going into that. Okay, in a motor you may think of a motor. It converts electrical to mechanical energy. So mechanical means rotation. So obviously there should be rotating parts or moving parts in a motor. And if there is some rotating part, there will be some losses, the friction and windage loss. There will be some losses over there. But your transformer is a static device. Another definition that comes over here, I'll rather say a transformer is a static device over here. One term I'll add, a transformer is a static device, because it is not rotating. So due to the absence of these moving parts, the losses of the transformer will be reduced. And if losses are reduced, obviously your efficiency is high for a transformer compared to any other electrical machines. And mainly what are these applications? I've written 2 applications over here. Apart from what we say that it steps up or step down the voltage, actually what it is doing while stepping up or stepping down the voltage, it is either matching the impedance of load and source for maximum power to the load to be transferred to the load. You have heard of maximum power transfer theorem. From source to load, maximum power has to be transferred. So transformer is a medium that can help to transfer maximum power to the load by matching the impedance, because you know maximum power can be transferred when Thevenin's equivalent resistance is equal to load resistance. So transformer can be used as a medium of matching those resistance also. And some transformers known as isolation transformers are generally used in isolating one circuit from another. I think you had a subject called power electronics. There you have an application of isolating transformer in SMPS. You've heard about buck boost converter or step up step down converter, where direct DC supply was given and then output voltage was found out which was to be DC, but there was no isolation between the source and the load. For protection purpose, there should be some isolation between the load and the source. We have to use an isolating transformer over there. There are many applications of transformer. I have highlighted these 2 points which I thought to be important to share to you. So this is basically a guideline or a small idea about transformer. Now we'll just jump into basics of magnetic circuit. This all first year things. You need to understand this, then only you can use your logic in magnetic circuit. Okay, one second, just one second. Okay. Achha, yes, you didn't have power. Third year, you are third year students or fourth year students. মাইকটা অন করে কেউ বলতে পারো, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। মানে actually I'm teaching third year students or fourth year students. I need to understand you also.
Sir,
fourth না?
fourth year sir.
আচ্ছা fourth year. হয়তো থাকে না তোমাদের পাওয়ার ইলেকট্রনিক্স এইআই তে? একটা ইলেকট্রিক বা কিছু থাকলে তো মনে হয় পাওয়া যেত। Okay, just basic you think means we have DC to DC rectifier you have heard. You convert AC to DC. Similarly, there are chopper circuits which convert DC to DC. Okay, some circuits are there where the supply DC and the load is not means connected to the same ground. If some short circuit happens in the source side, it will short circuit my load also. That's what I'm saying. Now, what we do uh, is to prevent those short circuits of the load and source at the same time, we provide isolation between the load and the source. So if there is a fault on the source side will be affected and we can repair that. If there is a fault on the load side can be easily isolated and repair can be done on the load side. So that's why isolation transformers are used. That thing only I want to say, nothing else. Just understand like this. So next what we'll do is basics of magnetic circuit. Okay. If you have pen and paper, try to write down these formulas in your copy, because next slide we will be solving problem using this formula. If you remember these formulas, just you can use it in the next problem. Or if you don't know this formula, you can write it down. See what is happening. We have taken a magnetic core over here. A wire will be wound over here. So one side of the wire, the current will be entering, the other will be leaving. So there is a dot and cross sign. Whichever you want to give, you can give. I am not worried about your dot and cross sign, but you should understand what I am trying to explain. Now, if a current flowing through this, if there is a wire over here and a current is passed through this wire, obviously a flux will get produced. And a flux will complete its path through this magnetic pole. So this dotted line shows your length of mean path of the flux. So along this path, the flux will travel. Okay, this is the mean path. Why I'm telling? Because flux can flow over here also. Flux can flow over here also. I have taken the average, so it will be center of these two things. This is actually called a limb. See, this is called your limb. This one, limb or leg. This one is called as your leg. This side is called as your leg. So I have taken the mean of this, means average. So somewhat middle of this, I have taken the path of the flux, and I have taken a direction. You can take opposite direction also, no problem. I want to show the flux is produced over here, and it covers a mean path of length L, small l. And this is the area of cross section. This is the area of cross section. Or if you take a 3D view or a sectional view over here, so you will get a mean area like this. If you take a block like this, you have to understand this one as your area. You have to understand this part as this area. If you are taking a cross-sectional view, then you can understand the area much better. How much area we are taking. Okay. Now, see, I'm giving a current type. A flux is getting produced in the core. What is the length of the mean path? That is small l. Using this formula, three things, data, we will apply some Ampere circuital law and find out. You can apply Biot-Savart's law also, because both will be used for finding out magnetic fields. So no problem with that. You can use any law, whichever you want. So we have used Ampere circuital law here. Ampere circuital law says that integration of H dot dl, the magnetic field intensity in this whole magnetic core, that means around this whole length, is nothing but the number of turns and the current enclosed in this path, or the current supplied to this current supplied to this wire. Okay, flux enclosed in this path and current supplied to the wire. So H dot dl, integration of H dot dl, because you are taking this whole area. So integration of H dot dl, H along this mean path is equal to N into I, or current enclosed. So current enclosed. So H dot dl can be written as, I have taken the length of the mean path as L. So H dot L is equal to N into I. So you can calculate your H from here, Ni by L, where L is the length of mean path of the flux. Then what we do after calculating H, what we do? We calculate our B, the magnetic field flux density. So B is equal to mu H, you know, and mu can be written as mu naught into mu R, where mu R is your relative permeability, which depends upon your core material. If it is air, mu R equal to 1, and mu naught is equal to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. This you know all the values, so I'm not going into detail about that. So B is equal to mu into H. Mu is expanded into mu naught mu R H, and then we can substitute the value of H from 1 as Ni by L and write B is equal to this value. And at last what we need to find out is our flux produced in this magnetic core, which is very important because that flux will determine my EMF produced in the core. So flux is equal to B into A, B cross A. What is my B? We had already calculated. What is my A? Area of cross section. So substitute this B from number 2 over here multiplied by A. Ni, number of turns into current, is also called your MMF. And if you see in the denominator, what will come is L by mu 0, mu naught, mu R. A is in the numerator in this equation. So in order to bring it in the denominator, you have to divide it by L. So L divided by mu naught, mu R, A. And what is this term? The denominator is called as reluctance. And now if you compare with your main electrical circuit, what we get, this flux is correlated to current, phi is nothing but I, MM is nothing but EMF, reluctance is nothing but resistance. So it is, these quantities are analogous to electrical circuits. Now we'll use these three formulas. I hope that you have written it down in a copy or paper. H is equal to Ni by L, B is equal to mu naught mu R Ni by L, because B is equal to mu H, and phi is equal to MMF by reluctance, that is B into A or Ni by this formula. So we have four formulas over here: H, B, phi, Ni and reluctance. Total 5 formulas. So I'm going to the next slide. Is a problem using this formula. Please solve it and tell me what will be its values. Mean length is given 1 meter. Cross sectional area is given 0.02 meter square. Core permeability is given 200 millihenry per meter. Number of turns is given 25 and current through the wire is given 0.2. Tell me what will be the first value. Please turn on your mic and share with me. If you have any difficulty, you tell me, because you need to clear your concepts and need to solve problems. Ultimately, in GATE, you have to solve problems. Nobody will ask you what is a transformer, on what principle it is working. So I need to solve the problems directly. So we'll solve the problems and you will be helping me in solving the problems. So what is my
MMF?
Tell me.
Sir, MMF is 5.
MMF is 5, correct. How do you do? N into I, right?
Ni.
Ni. So
Yes.
N is number 25 and I is 0.2. So you can directly calculate 25 into 2 by 10, that is 50 by 10 gives you 5. And unit, anyone can tell me what is the unit? MMF unit. See what you are multiplying, N into I.
Ampere. Yeah.
So ampere turns. This doesn't
turns.
Unit. So unit will be ampere turn. Capital A, small hyphen, capital T. Okay. So this is 580 ampere turns. Next, magnetic field intensity. That is, you have to calculate your H. H formula I told you in the last slide.
5.
Huh?
It's also 5.
N into I, 5 divided by 1. 5.
Yeah, N into I by L. So that also comes out to be 5. Unit. Just tell me, NI unit was ampere turn, right? Ampere turn
Yes, sir.
Ampere
divided
turn
by
per
length.
meter.
Yeah, divided by length will be ampere turn per meter. Next, maximum flux density.
0.001.
0.001. One আসছে না? B is equal to mu h. B is equal to mu h.
Hmm. Mu sir 200 into 10 to the power minus 6.
হ্যাঁ 200 into 10 to the power minus 6 না মিলি আছে মিলি means 10 to the power
Milli?
minus 3
Oh, micro.
হ্যাঁ মাইক্রো থাকলে 10 to the power minus 6 so 200 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 5 I think it will come 1 just check 1 200 into 10 to the power minus 3
Yes, sir. 5. 1.
1 huh. into 1
Or sir, minus 6 ধরে নিয়েছি আমি মানে মাইক্রো দেখেছি ভুল।
আর মাইক্রো হলে ওটা হবে ঠিক আছে তাহলে কি হবে 1 আর ইউনিট হচ্ছে ওয়েবার পার মিটার স্কয়ার হ্যাঁ ওয়েবার পার
Per meter.
ঠিক আছে এটা কোথা থেকে আসে দেখো from here you can find your b b is equal to flux by area flux এর ইউনিট কি ওয়েবার
Yes,
আর
sir.
এরিয়া কি মিটার স্কয়ার তা ওয়েবার পার মিটার স্কয়ার
Meter square.
তারপর total flux in the core call how much will be the total flux in the core these are very simple problems like this it will not come in gate but you should get an idea because all this may be included in some problem and at last you will be told to find something okay so
0.02 Weber.
0.02 Weber correct so b is equal to just check b is equal to 5 by 8 5 we have already given in question 5 no you need to calculate 5 so 5 is equal to b into a b you already calculated 1 area is 0.02 so 0.02 Weber but check your question it is given milliweber so I think it will be 20 milliweber
Oh, okay. Got
okay
it.
20, sir. Yeah.
20 milliweber you can get 0.02 Weber or 20 milliweber but read your question okay what it comes I hope everybody is getting it next flux linkages in the core what will be the flux linkages anybody can tell me the formula what do you mean by flux linkages of the coil you know this very basic thing flux linkages you have found out flux what will be flux linkage just try in terms of flux only obviously flux linkages in the coil have you heard of this term psi flux linkage is given by psi এবার বলো ফর্মুলা কি হতে পারে আচ্ছা ফ্লাক্সটা আছে আর কি হতে পারে ফ্লাক্সটা where it is produced where it is linking you see the flux is linking in this coil right and the coil has number of turns what n so flux linkage is n into
psi
n into phi psi is equal to n into phi flux linkages means how much flux is linked in the coil so
Yeah.
flux into total number of turns so 25 into 0.02 right or 20 milliweber 0.5 right
স্যার ল্যামডা দিয়ে ডিনোট করে না ফ্লাক্স লিংকেজ ল্যামডা ইকুয়ালস টু
lambda দিয়েও denote করতে পারো কোনো অসুবিধা নেই you can give a lambda over here no problem I prefer psi
ওকে
তাহলে n কত আছে 25 আর phi তোমাদের বেরিয়েছে কত 0.02 তাই তো 25 into 0.02 will give you 0.5
ইয়েস স্যার 0.5
0.5 okay flux into number of turns তাহলে ইউনিট কি হয়ে যাবে আবার ওয়েবার টার্নস হ্যাঁ ওয়েবার টার্নস
ওয়েবার টার্নস
এবার ইন্ডাকটেন্স অফ দি কয়েল বলো কি হবে ফ্লাক্স লিংকেজেস বেরিয়ে গেছে রিলেট সবকিছু রিলেট করে দেওয়া আছে কিন্তু আফটার দিস ইউ ফ্রম হিয়ার টু হিয়ার এভরিথিং ইজ রিলেটেড আফটার ফাইন্ডিং আউট ফ্লাক্স লিংকেজেস হাউ টু ফাইন্ড আউট ইন্ডাকটেন্স using flux linkage only you can find out I can this is the hint huh Tell me.
L equals to n d phi by dt.
The d
L
phi
equals
by
to n d phi by dt.
না d phi by dt আসছে কেন? First of all, আমরা কি সার্কিট করছি? We are studying a DC circuit. If I am giving a constant voltage, my flux will be constant. So d phi will be 0. So no Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. I did not state Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction over here. I have to use, when a magnetic core is in DC supply, I have to use Ampere's circuital law, find out H, then go for finding B, then go for finding phi. These are the methods. No application of your Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, because there will be change in flux. Okay, over here there is no change in flux. So no question of that. Using flux linkages only I am telling you. I am giving you a hint using flux linkages. So L is equal to, there will be a term N phi. Any, but after this what I have to add with this? Tell me. Anybody can recall very basic formula. L is equal to N phi. Do you recall this one? N phi by I. L is equal to given by N phi by I. Please, after this lecture, you try to find out. You have so many internet sources also. Try to find out all formulas related to inductance. You will see one formula as L is equal to N phi by I also. Okay. So N phi is how much you have calculated? 0.5, right? And I is 0.2. So 0.5 by 0.2, that will give you 2.5 Henry. Am I telling
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Okay, so
2.5.
this 2.5 Henry. So this will be 2.5 Henry. Formula is L is equal to N phi by I. This one formula. Okay. Next, reluctance. Reluctance can be found out by flux by MMF by flux. You have already found out MMF in question A. You have already found out question D, flux. So what you will do? MMF by flux, you will get your reluctance. MMF by flux will give you your reluctance. So find out how much it comes.
0.25.
MMF MMF তো 5 ছিল, divided by flux
5 by
0.02, 5 by 20 milliweber, মানে
হ্যাঁ ওটাই বলছি
250 আসছে না? 5 by 0.02 করলে তো 250 হবে।
হ্যাঁ 0.25 আর ওটা কনভার্ট করলে 250
250. So 250 ampere turns per Weber. 5 is your MMF. You have already found out your flux to be 0.02. 5 by 0.02, you calculated how much it will come? 250 ampere turns per Weber. Try this. I have given a flux, okay, 0.01 Weber in the same coil, same circuit. I need to produce a flux of this one. How much will be the current? Try this. Same circuit, current is not given now. Flux is given. I have to find out current. 0.01 is your flux. Find out your current. কোথাও কিছু অসুবিধা হলে বুঝতে না পারলে আটকে রয়েছিল, কারণ এটা একদম বেসিক জিনিস। কি করছো একটু আইডিয়া দাও, দেখতে তো পাচ্ছি না কি কারেন্ট ফ্রম ওয়্যার ইউ উইল
Sir,
ফাইন্ড বলো।
sir, I equals to phi L by mu NA ওখান থেকে কি?
I is equal to
I equals
হ্যাঁ
to phi into L by mu into N into A. মানে mu not mu r হচ্ছে mu
আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ ঠিক
আর
আছে
ni আছে,
বুঝতে
মানে
পেরেছি।
ni মানে এই ফর্মুলাটা, লাস্ট ফর্মুলাটা যেটা
হুম করো
ওখান
অ্যাপ্লাই করো,
থেকে।
কত আসছে দেখো। Apply your last formula because there is I over here. Use your last formula. Find your value of here flux and current is related, so you can use your last formula to solve your problem. Find out your I. How much it comes. What we need to find out? I only. No? We need to find out I.
Sir, 0.1.
0.1 ampere. Yeah. Everybody is getting 0.1. If you have any doubt, ask. Mu 0 mu r will be replaced by how much? 200 into 10 to the power minus 3. Ni, I can't replace my I, so n will be replaced by 25 in this formula. Right. L is given how much? 1 meter. So L is 1 meter. Take care of the unit also, centimeter. If it is given, convert it into meter. Area is given, I saw 0.02, so 0.02. Flux, present flux is how much? 0.01. Substitute with that, you will get your I. I think everybody should get 0.01. Sorry, 0.1 ampere. না এলে বলবে কিন্তু আমার কাটতে হবে, কোনো অসুবিধা হলে বলবে। 0.1 আসছে তো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
ঠিক আছে। এইটা কিন্তু what we studied is basically when a magnetic circuit is supplied with a DC. তখন we are not going for that n d phi by dt and all, because there should be a change in flux. If there is no change in flux, no EMF, so we can't go using those. We have to follow this procedures in order to find out our flux. We have to apply Ampere circuital law, find H, then find out B, then find out phi in terms of B, and that can be used to find out our MMF and reluctance. Very important, this 5 formulas when supply is DC. But now when we are using a transformer, we are giving a AC supply. Now when we are giving a AC supply, our voltage is sinusoidal in nature. So there will be a change in the voltage at any moment of time. There will be always a different instantaneous voltage. So as the voltages changes over time, there will be an instantaneous current also at every moment, because for a sinusoidal voltage, sinusoidal current will be produced, and that current, when flowing through a wire, will produce a sinusoidal flux also. Okay, and sinusoidal means it is always changing with respect to time, so we will get a d phi by dt, and that means an EMF will be produced. That's why over here we can apply Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So that is our point of study when a magnetic core is given an AC supply. When you are given an AC supply, my flux in the core is becoming fixed irrespective of any factor. Okay, whatever magnitude you give your voltage, okay, for that amount of voltage my flux gets fixed. Obviously if you change your voltage, current will change, flux will change. So that's why I'm telling your flux gets fixed only when your AC supply voltage also gets fixed. We'll find the relation between flux and voltage also in later slides. So we don't have to go for again calculating a flux, that is MMF by reluctance, again and again, because for a certain voltage 230 volt, this amount of flux will be flowing through the core. For some voltage 500 volt, this amount of flux will be produced in the core. So those long procedures of finding out H, then V, then finding out flux, we don't have to go over those formulas over here. আচ্ছা, মিটিংটা 2 মিনিটের মধ্যে শেষ হয়ে যাবে, আবার সেম লিংক দিয়ে কিন্তু জয়েন করো। হ্যাঁ। Kale, because Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction is applied over here, so the moment if we give a supply voltage, an induced EMF is produced, so this will be induced EMF. So an induced voltage or EMF will be there, which will oppose this cause because of Lenz's law. Okay, so if you see it is, if you apply a KVL over here, what you will write? V1t minus E1t equal to 0. So V1t is opposing my E1t is opposing my V1t. That's why this polarity is over here. You can't write minus in the top, plus in the bottom. Otherwise, if you apply KVL, it will be V1t plus E1t equal to 0. So since V1 is my cause, E1 is my effect, this should oppose each other and polarity should match. Then only it will oppose. Because if you go KVL in clockwise or anti-clockwise, whichever you want, you will get either V1 minus E1 or E1 minus V1 equal to 0. So this is a primary thing on a transformer. In a primary, we are giving a supply voltage, and that's why V1, and that's why an EMF E1 is getting produced due to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and because of Lenz's law, this E1 will oppose my V1. Now, just a brief discussion of what we told, a principle of transformer action. You can go through all these sentences written over here. I am describing in my own words. Okay, just listen to what I am saying. At home, I'll send you the slides later, and you can discuss. As soon as I complete my transformer as a whole, I'll send you slides in total. Okay, and you can go through this definitions and everything from here. I am saying in my own words. Okay, now what we are giving in a transformer code are AC supply V1. For that, an alternating current will be produced. This IE is alternating current, and that current flows through this coil. Okay, if a current flows through the coil, magnetic field will be produced, so there will be a flux, so there will be a flux generated. Now, because of the flux being sinusoidal in nature, there will be d phi by dt, and because there are a number of turns N1 into d phi by dt will give a EMF E1. So primary side understood, this is my primary side where supply is given, and because of that sinusoidal current is getting produced, which flows through a coil, produces a flux phi, and because the flux is alternating in nature, it will produce an EMF E1. Now what happens? Because this is a magnetic core, the flux will find it easy, like what is reluctance? It is opposite to resistance, right? So this magnetic core will offer the least resistance to this flux to flow, or in terms of reluctance I have to say, least reluctance for the flux to flow. So the flux completes its path through this magnetic core only. This white color, this in between is air gap. It offers high reluctance. So obviously no flux will be flowing through this air because it offers high reluctance. Yes, it will flow. Those are called your leakage reactances. I have shown a basic transformer which is I have considered ideal, which all the flux are confined to the core itself. So no flux is flowing through this air gap. So this flux now cuts the N2 number of coils in the secondary. This side is secondary because it is connected to this load. So this is a secondary where the flux cuts N2 coils. Now this is a alternating in nature, will get d phi by dt. N2 into d phi by dt will produce another EMF, that is E2. Since N1 and N2 are different, obviously E1 and E2 will be different. So if I connect this switch over here, then some current will flow through this load. So some current will flow through this load and complete a circuit, and that current, if it is I2 into ZL, will be V2. There will be a voltage drop across this. If this switch is open, so no current will be there, I2 equal to 0. But since these 2 points are open, obviously there will be a voltage. If I connect a voltmeter over here, or rather this point, if I connect a voltmeter over here, what I will read? I will read E2 only. I will read E2 over here. So at no load, that means there is no load over here, this E2 and V2 are equal. But whenever load is there, there will be a drop across this load. So this E2 and V2 will change. It will be different. E2 and V2 different, E1 and V1 are different, but in ideal case, E1 and V1 are equal. We'll come to practical transformer also later. E2 and V2 will be equal in ideal, but in normal transformer, both are different. So that's why we are using different names for all the voltages. So I think you have understood how we are giving a supply over here and how the energy is transferred to the load by means of one magnetic path over here. See, electrical energy is converted to magnetic energy in this medium, magnetic core. Then this magnetic energy is again converted to electrical energy. The second point which we have discussed, electromechanical energy conversion device. So this is how a transformer works. So next is a very important thing, EMF equation of a transformer. Nobody will ask you to derive, but it is very important to know the derivation, because if you know this, if by chance you forget this formula, you can slowly derive in your exam hall also in few steps. So if you see this diagram, the flux which is produced in this primary is linked with the secondary also. So whatever this flux phi is there is linking through, passing through this magnetic core and linking this secondary. So in transformer there are two things constant. One is our frequency. Here if it is voltage is at F, output also my frequency will be F. And another one, what is common between these two is your flux phi. Okay. And another I want to tell you that I is your no load current. That means this switch is open. If this switch is closed, this I is replaced by I1, the actual current flowing through this transformer. Because when you will be reading these slides, I think somewhere I is mentioned. That's why I told you. See, I is mentioned over here. That's why I have told you. The next key code way, you have to apply Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, because flux is now changing. You can apply E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. Since same flux is there, I know my supply is signed, my current will also be signed, and for that current, the flux will also be signed. So phi is equal to phi m sin omega. This should be taken as reference in your transformer. Another word you should remember from now only, because my frequency and flux is constant in both primary and secondary, flux is taken as my reference. Frequency is constant because it is 50 Hz only every time, but flux is alternating in nature, it changes its time. So flux is taken to be constant. Apart from this, V1, V2 is different, E2, E1 is different, I1, I2 all are different. So if we represent this all things in phasors, this will have some direction as well as have some magnitude. So I can't represent this I1 and I2 similar. Only thing which can be taken common between my primary and secondary is my flux. Or while you draw a phasor, you take one thing, one phasor as your reference. So which phasor should be taken as reference is your flux. This is a fact I am telling now only, later we will use that. So E1 is equal to minus N1 d phi by dt. Differentiate this phi m sin omega t. Phi m is constant, maximum value comes outside. So you have to differentiate what? Sin omega t. Sin omega t differentiation will be cos omega t into omega and minus sign over here. Then all expression should be expressed in sign, because our reference is a sine wave and it will be easier to draw with respect to our reference. That's why cos omega t is minus cos omega t is expressed in terms of sign as sin omega t minus pi by 2. Now, this is a sine function. Can I say this one as, suppose I am saying how you write a sine function? You write a maximum value over here. How you write a sine function? Maximum value into sin omega t, right? So maximum value into sin omega t. This angle indicates whether it is lagging or leading my reference. If you have any doubt anywhere, please stop me and ask. This minus indicates lag, so my reference is my flux, and from that my E1 is lagging by pi by 2. Okay. Now, what can I say Vm or the magnitude Em? The magnitude of this as this one, N1 phi m omega is my Vm over here, I can say. And since it is a sine wave, can I write RMS? RMS is, what do we write? Max by root 2. Max by root 2. Any sine function is given by RMS value is max by root 2. What is my max over here? N1 phi m omega. See, N1 phi m omega by root 2. Capital E1 is the RMS value of this, because while doing mathematics, we need RMS value. We don't need phasors. Phasors are giving your directions. So N1 phi m omega by root 2. What is omega? 2 pi f. This you know, I think so. So 2 by 2 pi gives you root 2. So root 2 pi f phi m n1. If you calculate this root 2 pi, you will get 4.44. In some books or somewhere notes, you will find out they have written also 4.44 f phi m n1. But this is what is important. Okay, this will be E2 over here. Please do my mistake. So E2 is equal to ERMS is equal to root 2 pi f phi m, and in the secondary which what we have is n2 terms. So n1 is replaced by n2. N1 is replaced by N2. So phi max, how you will calculate your phi m, phi max? Phi max is nothing but your E2 or E1, or since I will take it as an ideal transformer, just now I have told E1 and V1 are same. So you can write E1 or V1 over here, no problem. So V1 or E1 divided by what? Root 2 pi f N2. Okay, if you take V2, then it will be V2 by root 2 pi f N2. But we generally write in terms of supply, because supply is always known to us, because we know we are giving a supply this one, and at the output we need this one. So output is a secondary quantity, primary quantity is my supply only, which we already know. For any parameter, primary is already we are knowing is what is my supply. So you recall the fact which I have taken over here. We say the flux gets fixed when a AC supply is given. When a AC supply is given, phi max, maximum value obviously, gets fixed, because we are comparing with DC. DC have only one value. Okay, because AC has instantaneous value. So we will have to calculate one value of a AC, and that value we are telling it as for now max value. Phi max will be fixed. For change in V1, this phi max will change. That is what I was telling. If you change your voltage, obviously flux will change. And number of turns. I am keeping number of turns constant. If you change your supply, then only phi max will change. But if you give a voltage of suppose 230 volt over here, phi max is suppose 1 Weber. It will be 1 Weber only. But if you take a DC over here, if you get a 230 volt and change your mean length of the flux, change your area of cross section, flux will change. However, if you give a AC supply, apart from changing your mean length A or cross sectional area, L or cross sectional area A, phi max will remain constant if the source is AC. Another thing that comes, turns ratio is N2 by N1. You can understand the name turns ratio, N2 by N1. If you divide this two, what you will get? This part is common, cancels out. So you will get N2 by N1 is equal to E1 by, this will be E2 I told you. So E1 by E2. E1 by E2. Sorry. N2 by N1 is equal to E2 by E1. E2 by E1. Similarly, if we are taking it ideal transformer, so it will be V2 by V1. And if you are taking ideal transformer, your input power V1 I1 is equal to output power V2 I2, because efficiency is 100%. From there you can calculate I1 by I2. So I1, I2 comes in the denominator, V1 goes this side. So it will be V2 by V1. So what is V2 by V1? I1 by I2. So V2 by V1 is equal to I1 by I2. So you should remember, number of terms N2 by N1 is equal to E2 by E1 is equal to V2 by V1, but for the current it is opposite, I1 by I2.
স্যার
হ্যাঁ বলো
স্যার বলছি আপনি বলেন না এই ফাই ম্যাক্সটা এটা কনস্ট্যান্ট হচ্ছে,
হ্যাঁ
স্যার বলছি এবার ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে মানে কারেন্টটা তো হচ্ছে চেঞ্জ অফ মানে ফ্লাক্স। এবার যদি ফ্লাক্সটা যদি কনস্ট্যান্ট হয়ে যায় তাহলে তো কারেন্টটা তো জিরো হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
মানে ম্যাক্সিমাম ভ্যালুটা, ঠিক আছে। কনস্ট্যান্ট মানে আমি বলছি এই ধরো এসি তো, ঠিক আছে, এসি এই পিক ভ্যালুটা কনস্ট্যান্ট, এই পিক
ও
ভ্যালু,
আচ্ছা।
ঠিক আছে। ঠিক আছে, আশা করছি এই অবধি
হ্যালো
বোঝা
স্যার,
গেছে। হ্যাঁ বলো বলো। হুম হুম, টেল টেল।
আমি বলছি ফ্লাক্সের ডিরেকশনটা তো, স্যার ফ্লাক্সের ডিরেকশনটাও তো চেঞ্জ হবে স্যার যখন এসিটা চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে পজিটিভ আর নেগেটিভ হাফ সাইকেলে।
না না, ফ্লাক্সের ডিরেকশন তো তোমার কিভাবে দাও, এখানে তুমি যে থাম্ব রুল দিয়ে দাও যে যদি কারেন্ট এইদিকে ফ্লো করে, দেখো নিজেই দিয়ে দেখো। কারেন্ট ইন ডটের জন্য এক
হ্যাঁ
ডাইরেকশনে ফ্লাক্স হয়, ধরো ওপরের দিকে, ক্রসের জন্য এক ডাইরেকশনে ফ্লাক্স হয়, সেটা ডিপেন্ড করবে কারেন্টটা কয়েলে কি করে এন্টার করছে, ব্যাস।
হ্যাঁ স্যার পজিটিভ, স্যার এখানে তো এসি যেহেতু চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে, একবার কারেন্টটা পজিটিভ দিয়ে ঢুকছে আর একবার নেগেটিভ দিয়ে ঢুকছে, দুবারই তো চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে, তাহলে ফ্লাক্স তো
তুমি, হ্যাঁ মানে
চেঞ্জ
যদি
হওয়ার কথা স্যার।
এসি হিসেবে ধরো, মানে ওই হিসেবে ভাবো, ঠিক আছে, একবার পজিটিভ হচ্ছে নেগেটিভ হচ্ছে, আমরা বলছি ম্যাক্সিমাম ভ্যালু, মিন ভ্যালুটা, বা মিন ভ্যালু, বা আমরা যখন এসি, যখনই তোমার বেসিক ইলেকট্রনিক্সে করেছো না, এসি কোয়ান্টিটি কি করি, অ্যাভারেজ বা আরএমএস ভ্যালু দেখি আমরা একটা। আহ, ধরো আমি একটা সিম্পল এক্সাম্পল দিচ্ছি তোমার, যখনই কোনো ইনস্ট্রুমেন্টে তুমি মেজার করছো, এই হোক যেখানে হোক, তুমি একটা ভোল্ট মিটার লাগাও, তাই তো, ভোল্টেজ মেজারিং, ভোল্টেজটা কি তোমার ওই এই পজিটিভ নেগেটিভ এরকম ভাবে দেয়, কি দেয় ভোল্টেজটা, মানে এটা যদি পজিটিভ নেগেটিভ হয় তাহলে অ্যাভারেজ ভ্যালু কি হয়ে যাবে, জিরো হয়ে যাবে। তো ভোল্টেজটা, ভোল্ট মিটারটা কি দেয়, আরএমএস ভ্যালু, একটা কনস্ট্যান্ট ভ্যালু দেয়, 230 ভোল্ট, ঠিক আছে। ওর জন্য তুমি যদি অ্যাভারেজ ভ্যালু বা ডিটারমাইন করো সাইন ওয়েভ এর, তাহলে জিরো আসবে ফুল সাইকেলে। কিন্তু উই হ্যাভ টু ফাইন্ড আউট আরএমএস ভ্যালু, একটা কনস্ট্যান্ট দিয়ে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করি, দ্যাট উই আর ক্যালকুলেটিং অলরেডি। হ্যাঁ, ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক ইট লাইক দ্যাট, সিন্স ইট ইজ এসি ইউ আর কারেক্ট ফ্রম ইয়োর টার্ম that it is AC, it is changing its direction, but we are thinking about the constant value, means RMS, average or maximum value, average of half cycle only। হ্যাঁ, সাইন ওয়েভ যখন অ্যাভারেজ বার করি তখন হাফ সাইকেল বার করি, ফুল সাইকেলে জিরো হয়, এইভাবে আমরা ভাবছি। আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, এইবার হচ্ছে এই ইকুয়েশন দিয়ে প্রবলেম। দেখো যদি লিখে না থাকো তাহলে এই ইকুয়েশনটা একটু লিখে রাখো। ফ্লাক্স phi max is equal to v by root 2 pi f n1। ততক্ষণে এটা চেঞ্জ করি, এটা E2 হবে, তাই তো।
স্যার এই পিডিএফটা দিয়ে দেবেন তো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, আমি দিয়ে দেবো, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। একটু এইসব
ঠিক
এডিট
আছে।
করতে হবে তো, মানে এগুলো বুঝতেই পারছো, টাইপ করেছি, টাইপ করতে অনেক মিস্টেক হয়ে গেছে, এগুলো একটু চেক করে দিতে হবে আমাকে সবকিছু। হ্যাঁ, এখানে যেরকম করে দিলাম দেখো, এটা E2 হবে, এখানে V1টা E1 হবে, ঠিক আছে, এটা করতে পারো।
হ্যাঁ স্যার
ওর
ঠিক
জন্য
আছে।
সবকিছু এইটা করো। দেখো তো এই প্রবলেম গুলো পারছো কিনা। খুব সোজা, একদম সোজা, যা ফর্মুলা ইউজ করলাম জাস্ট এইটা, ফাইভ ম্যাক্সে এই ফর্মুলা দিয়ে হবে। কি বলেছে দেখো, আমিও করছি, চলো তোমাদের সাথে। ফ্লাক্স ইন দি কোর ইজ ভ্যারিং সাইনোসয়েডালি উইথ ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি 50 হার্টজ, এফ এর ভ্যালু দেওয়া আছে, ঠিক আছে। নাম্বার অফ টার্নস 25 দিয়েছে, এন 25, ঠিক আছে। ম্যাক্সিমাম ফ্লাক্স মানে ফাই এম দেওয়া আছে 10 মিলিওয়েবার, 10 ইন্টু 10⁻³ ক্যালকুলেট দি ইএমএফ ইন দ্য কয়েল, ইএমএফ মানে ই, বা ভি, যেটা যদি আইডিয়াল ধরো, এটা কিছু বলেনি, সো ইউ থিঙ্ক ইট অ্যাজ আইডিয়াল অনলি, ইএমএফ অর ই হোয়াট এভার ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু ফাইন্ড আউট। ট্রাই করো, আমি এই ফর্মুলাটা লাগাও, use this formula, which one you think it as general, E is equal to root 2 pi f pi m into n। বুঝুন অ্যান্সারটা দিচ্ছি,
55.50 এরকম কিছু।
একটা সেকেন্ড, এটা কি অঙ্ক, flux is varying sinusoidally and intense, okay। Sorry, কত আছে 55.5?
Yes, sir.
55.5, correct. Just your formula root 2 pi f. F is 50, n is 25, and phi m is 10 into 10 to the power minus 3. Now next problem, if supply RMS voltage is 25, what is the maximum value of flux in the core? Assume maximum flux density. Also calculate maximum flux density if the area of cross section is 0.02 meters square. So now the supply voltage is given. আগে EMF টা দেওয়া ছিল, মানে E টা বার করতে হয়েছিল, এখন E টা দেওয়া আছে 25 ভোল্ট দেওয়া আছে। কি বার করতে বলেছে? ফ্লাক্স টা বার করতে হবে। আবার সেম ফর্মুলা লাগাও, 25 ভোল্ট, find out your flux phi m.
0.004.
Number of turns is 25. হ্যাঁ, কত? 0.0045 মিলিওয়েবার, তাই তো?
Yes, sir.
4.5 milliweber. Use this formula only, same formula. Now what is given? EMF is given, RMS value. This RMS value is given, 25 is equal to root 2 pi into 50 into n is given 25. So you can find out a phi m. Calculate maximum flux density B. What is the relationship between B and cross sectional area? Just now we had written B is equal to
P is equals to mu into Ni by L into A.
Okay, Ni by A, I দেওয়া নেই first of all, একদম simple first formula, একদম simple, phi into A, phi equal to B into A. This formula only you
okay.
can directly use. So phi equal to B into A. Phi is equal to B into A, apply করো, তাহলে B বার করে নাও। B তোমার phi দেওয়া আছে, এরিয়া দেওয়া আছে, you can find out that 10 by 0.02 মানে 5 এর কত আসে? 4.5 নাকি? 10 by 0.02. Also calculate the maximum flux density with the area of cross section.
So phi টা বেরিয়েছে আমার 0.0045 divided by 0.02.
Correct.
আমার 0.2 something আসছে।
0.225. 225.
Yeah, 0.225.
Correct. 0.225. So
Yes.
0.225. তারপর দেখো কয়েল কারেন্ট, আগের যেরকম ভাবে কারেন্ট বার করলে সেরকম ভাবে বার করে নিতে পারো এই ফর্মুলাটা কি, phi is equal to B into L, তারপর B টাকে ভাঙলে mu 0 mu r, বা mu 0 mu r তো এখানে দেওয়া নেই কিছু, you can think it like this, you can find out your H. আচ্ছা আচ্ছা মিউ টা দিতে হবে এখানে, না মিউ দেওয়া আছে না কোশ্চেন? না দেওয়া নেই,
mu দেওয়া নেই।
দেওয়া নেই না, তাহলে মিউটা দিতে হবে, মিউটা ওই আগেরটাই ধরে নাও। হ্যাঁ, 200 মিলিওয়েবার, এটা 200 মিলি হেনরি পার মিটার। কনসিডার দিস অ্যাজ মিউ and find your current I. এটা পারবে আশা করছি, আমি ছেড়ে দাও, এটা বাড়িতে করে নেবো। এটা যখন করতে পেরেছো, আই থিঙ্ক ইউ ক্যান ডু দিস ওয়ান। ঠিক আছে, এরপর একটা কথা সোজা সোজা, মানে খুব একদম সিম্পল কিন্তু কনসেপচুয়াল জিনিস। 100 প্রাইমারি টার্নস, তার মানে N1 দেওয়া আছে, 200 সেকেন্ডারি টার্নস মানে N2 দেওয়া আছে, তাহলে 240 ভোল্ট এসি ভোল্টেজ, তাহলে কোনটা দেওয়া আছে, V1 না V2 বা E1 না E2, কোনটা দেওয়া আছে?
E1.
E1. Supply is always your supply 240, you can take E1 or V1. Then how much EMF is produced in secondary coil? তাহলে E2 বার করতে হবে, তাহলে কোন ফর্মুলাটা লাগাবে? টার্নস রেশিও যেটা আছে, N2 by N1 is equal to E2 by E1. তাহলে N2 হচ্ছে 200, N1 হচ্ছে 100, তাহলে 200 by 100 is equal to E2 by 240.
Uh, 480 volt.
480 ভোল্ট। অবভিয়াসলি, কারণ এখানে দেখো এটা না করলেও হয়, ব্যাপারটা দেখো কি হচ্ছে, 100 is to 200 টুয়াইস হয়ে যাবে, রাইট? এখানে ডাইরেক্টলি 240 থেকে 480 মানে এগুলো আস্তে আস্তে তুমি যখন করতে থাকবে নিজেই ছোটভাবে ভাবতে পারবে যে n1 is to n2 মানে n1 is to n2 is 1 is to 2, so obviously e1 is to e2 will be 1 is to 2, 240 that will give me 480. Yes. তারপর এটা দেখো 200 ভোল্ট প্রাইমারি ভোল্টেজ তার মানে v1 বা e1, primary current i1 is 2 ampere, secondary current is 5 ampere. What would be the secondary voltage? তাহলে we have to use a current relationship over here, current and voltage. তাহলে v2 by v1 is equal to i1 by i2. Please be careful, current is inversely related, so v2 by v1 is equal to i1 by i2.
কি বার করতে v2 টা বার করতে
v2 টা বার করতে হবে তাহলে v2 is equal to i1 by i2 into v1 by 2 by 5 into 200, তাই তো ঠিকই বললাম মনে হচ্ছে 2 by 5.
yes sir
2 by 5 into 200 মানে 40 80 volt,
200
80 right?
হ্যাঁ স্যার
2 by 5 into 4 হ্যাঁ 80 volt, 80 volt. Okay. So over here, so main thing is you need to remember this phi max relation, you need to remember this turns ratio, you need to remember when AC supply is given flux gets fixed, but if my voltage changes my flux maximum value of flux gets fixed, my flux voltage if changes so my phi max will also change, and in DC if supply is given like that we have to continue those steps. Yes. এবার বেসিক্যাল কি জিনিস হয় primary of the transformer, how to determine your current in the primary of the transformer. Since it is a magnetic material it will follow a BH curve, so I've drawn a BH curve over here. Okay, you can find your phi max because that will be constant for some supply voltage, phi will be constant, so for 230 volt I will calculate my phi max. Okay, you can calculate your B max from this phi max because you know B is equal to phi by A. From that you can find your B max. Then from in that B max in the curve you can go to this curve intersection and find out your H max. Right, you can find out your H max. This is a practical. Okay, এইগুলো হচ্ছে অঙ্ক. I1 can be found out, I2 can be found out. This is through mathematical. This one I am just sharing one slide on practical how it is done. So B max, then you go to the curve of that magnetic material, find your H max. You know your H is given by Ni by L, right? So H max will be N1 into I max by L, and from there you can find out your RMS value. Since it is primary, this will be I1 RMS. I1 RMS will be maximum by √2. Just now we have discussed because it is sine wave, maximum by √2. This is how practically IRMS can be found out. আচ্ছা এই কোয়েশ্চেনটা অ্যান্সার দাও তো, we have answer after this. I'll just need a answer from you if you have any idea. What will be the effect of primary current? Means this primary current, this IRMS that we are determining. What will be the effect of that primary current if we are using better core materials? And whether it will increase or decrease, or it will exponentially decrease twice, double, 4 times, or anything remain same. I want in terms of that answer, and any reason if you can share. Means the core material I am taking a better material. Okay, first tell me what is a better material. Material 1 is better than material 2, magnetic material. How can I
So
say?
number of flux lines বেশি enter করবে
ফ্লাক্স লাইন আরেকটু কিছু এইভাবে ভেবো না, একটু কিছু এটা ঠিক নয়।
স্যার কন্ডাক্টিভিটি বেশি,
কন্ডাক্টিভিটি তো এখানে আসে না বাবা, এটা ম্যাগনেটিক মেটেরিয়াল। ঠিক আছে, আমি রিলেটেড টু কন্ডাক্টিভিটি বলছি। একটু আগে একটা টার্ম ইউজ করলাম মিউ আর, রিলেটিভ পারমিয়েবিলিটি। যত ভালো মেটেরিয়াল নেবে রিলেটিভ পারমিয়েবিলিটি তত বেশি হবে।
হ্যাঁ
তাই তো মনে পড়ছে এখন?
হ্যাঁ ছিল।
ঠিক আছে,
ফেরোম্যাগনেটিক, তারপর
যত ভালো মেটেরিয়াল নেবে তত ভালো রিলেটিভ পারমিয়েবিলিটি হবে। তাই বেসিক্যালি আমার ফার্স্ট পয়েন্ট হচ্ছে বেটার কোর মেটেরিয়াল মিন্স চুজিং আ মেটেরিয়াল অফ হায়ার রিলেটিভ পারমিয়েবিলিটি। ঠিক আছে, আমি তিনটে একটা গ্রাফ এঁকেছি তোমাদের জন্য বোঝার জন্য। ধরো মেটেরিয়াল 1, মেটেরিয়াল 2, মেটেরিয়াল 3। You know that B equal to mu H. সবার ক্লিয়ার এই ফর্মুলাটা, এটা জানোই, বেসিক ফর্মুলা। তাহলে B equal to mu H যদি হয়, আমি যদি একটা লিনিয়ার কার্ভ ধরি, আই এম স্টাডিং দ্য লিনিয়ার রিজিয়ন অনলি, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে ক্যান আই কনসিডার মিউ অ্যাজ মাই স্লোপ অফ দ্যাট ইকুয়েশন y equal to mx? ওর জন্য দেখো, I have written over here slope is equal to mu naught mu r. That's why I have written a slope that is mu, which will come out to be mu naught mu r. This mu r will continuously go on changing as we are taking a better material. Mu naught is fixed, that is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Now, this material 1 is a bad material. I am taking a better material over here. I am taking a more better material over here. So as you go on taking a better material, so your mu r goes on increasing, your mu goes on increasing. So automatically you can say that my curve is shifting towards the y axis. As your slope goes on increasing, it will be more closer to your y axis. So it will go more closer to your y axis. I'm going in this direction. I'm going in this direction. Okay. So for a value of Bmax, just now we had determined, right? For this problem, how we did Bmax. For that value of Bmax, we are determining Hmax. Then from that Hmax, we'll calculate Imax, right? That procedure only will follow. So we'll follow that procedure only. For that Bmax, I'm getting Hmax 1. For that, I'll get I1 max for material 1. For that material 2, I'll get I2 max. For that material 3, I'll get I3 max. So কোন কারেন্টটা বেশি? Obviously I1 max, তার থেকে কম হচ্ছে I2 max, more lower is I3 max. So as we go on increasing, or we are go on taking better core materials, my current that is required to produce the flux in the core, that is this one, I1 max or I2 max or I3 max, this is required to produce the flux in the core, goes on decreasing. যত ভালো মেটেরিয়াল নেবে, তত যে কারেন্টটা দিয়ে ফ্লাক্সটা প্রডিউস হচ্ছে সেই কারেন্টটা অনেক কম লাগে, এটাই এখানে লেখা আছে। ঠিক আছে, ইউ ক্যান গো থ্রু দিস পয়েন্টস এন্ড গো থ্রু, আই এম জাস্ট টেলিং অন মাই ওন। তার আগে সবচেয়ে জিনিস যেটা মনে রাখতে হবে, হোয়াট ডাজ বেটার কোর মেটেরিয়াল মিন? দ্যাট মিনস ইট উইল হ্যাভ আ হাই রিলেটিভ পারমিয়াবিলিটি। ঠিক আছে, বোঝা গেছে আশা করছি?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next is ideal transformer. Okay. Again, I'll tell you to go through this point. I'll discuss on my own. When you say anything to be ideal, what will be the efficiency? 100%. So there will be no losses. So whatever the losses in the transformer will all be negligible. The first idea that comes to my mind. These are wires, right? Current flowing through some conductor. It will have some resistance, as well as since flux is produced, there will be some inductance also. So there will be some inductance as well as some resistance in this wire. Similarly over here, and if there is resistance and inductance, there will be drop across those elements. So that's why I was telling V1 will not be equal to E1 if it is not ideal. E2 will be not equal to V2 if it is not ideal. If it is ideal, then all losses are zero. I'll consider resistivity zero, no inductance. So all the power that is developed over here in the primary is given to the secondary. No energy is lost in this winding. So when you are talking about the ideal transformer, their efficiency will be 100%. So all losses are negligible, all winding resistance are negligible. The core will have a constant permeability, and all flux that is set up in the primary will be linked with the secondary. There will be no air gap flux. These are all the points when ideal transformer comes into your picture. But we will all deal with practical transformers. Yes, এইগুলো review problem আপাতত থাকুক. I'll send you the problem, you try it at home. Okay, this is same thing which we have discussed up to now. Primary, secondary, EMF সব produce হবে। আগে যে ফর্মুলা গুলো করেছি, RL মানে DC সাপ্লাই হলে যা যা ফর্মুলা ইউজ করে করেছি, সেগুলো দিয়ে প্রবলেম করে আছে। ঠিক আছে, এইগুলো একদম বেসিক জিনিস। ঠিক আছে, অন্য সাবজেক্টেও মানে অ্যাজ আ প্রিলিমিনারি জিনিস অন্য হিসাবেও দিতে পারে, বেসিক ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ভেবেও কোয়েশ্চেন আসতে পারে। সো এগুলো অমিট করবে না, হ্যাঁ, যে এত ইজি আসবে কিনা গেটের জন্য, মানে সব হয়তো কম্বাইন করে একটা রেজাল্টেন্ট দিয়ে দেবে। And these are very simple things, because these things you have to remember, but don't skip all these things, because these are very important, because without all this you will not be able to go to solve the future problems. খুব শক্ত শক্ত problems আছে, later you see, we'll discuss, but you have to understand the basic things also. Okay. Now comes the very important part of transformer. Phasor diagram of transformer on no load. We'll discuss small things about this and try to draw the equivalent circuit of transformer. Now, when it is on no load, that means this switch is open. That means no current is flowing through the load. All the power, I have to give a supply, all the power that is developed in the primary is lost in the core and the winding resistances, because no power is transferred to the secondary, because switch is open. We are talking no load. So since I am giving a supply, there will be some power developed in the primary, and since that power is not transferred to the secondary, we have to assume that all power is lost in this core as magnetic losses, that is your hysteresis and eddy current loss, and some losses will be in this winding resistance also. Now, when at no load, the current which flows through the primary is termed as exciting current, or somewhere in the book if you find out, they will mention it as no load current also. I have used IE, I'll go by this term only. So IE is your no load current or exciting current. Okay. Now this IE magnitude is very small. Can anybody tell me why this IE magnitude is very small? Just now I have given the explanation about this power only. From that, if you relate to me and tell me, then it will be very good. Anyone can try? I'm telling IE will be very small. আচ্ছা দেখো,
পারমেবিলিটি হাই এই জন্য।
না না ওরকম ভেবো না, জিনিসটা দেখো, এইখানে দেখো, এখানে দেখো, এই পাওয়ারটা তো সেকেন্ডারিতে কিছু ট্রান্সফার হচ্ছে না, ঠিক আছে? তাহলে দেখো, আমি যদি আইডিয়ালি ধরি V1 into I is equal to V2 into I2, এবার পাওয়ার যদি, if I am not transferring any power over here, this is open, that means I2 is equal to 0, তাহলে V2 into I2 0 হয়ে গেল, তাহলে V1 into I ও 0 হবে প্র্যাকটিক্যাল, মানে আইডিয়াল ক্ষেত্রে। কিন্তু but there will be some power that will be produced in order to produce the flux. I'm giving a supply, some current will be producing that flux only, na? যেহেতু V1 into I is 0, মানে I will not write 0, is equivalent to 0. So V1 is a constant supply voltage, and since the product of this term is close to 0, I will be very small as possible. So that's why I'll tell that I at no load is very small. At full load, this will increase. This will be I1. We'll come to it. But at no load, this value is very small. That is IE. Now, if it is ideal transformer, there will be no loss. All this current IE will be flowing through this coil and producing this flux phi. So this IE and flux will be in same phase. See, when I'm drawing the phasor diagram, I told you which should be taken as reference, flux, because that is constant between the primary and secondary. দেখো, primary তে যা flux আছে, secondary তো তাই flux আছে, so flux is always constant. And since this I is completely producing my flux only, it is not appearing as loss, because I am taking it as ideal transformer, so IE will be in phase with the flux. এবার E1, E2. দেখো, এখানে কি করেছে, E1 is omega t minus pi by 2. E2 ও same হবে, except this N1 will be N2. তাহলে this is lagging my flux by how much? 90 degree. Right? So lagging means in which direction? Anti-clockwise. Clockwise means leading. Sorry, anti-clockwise means leading, clockwise means lagging. Clockwise we have to go. So from 5 we'll go clockwise. So from 5 we are going clockwise 90 degree. So this one we are getting E1 and E2. Generally what we do in the transformer, we represent the secondary below the flux line and the primary above the flux line. So we have brought E1 in the opposite direction to get minus E1. And if we apply KVL, this one opposes this one. So V1 is not nothing but minus E1. Or rather, I will not say this one as V1. I'll say it as V1 dash. Okay. Don't say as V1. We'll say V1 dash. Next slide we'll see. We'll say V1 dash. So V1 dash is equal to minus E1. Because this side above the flux line will represent primary part. Below the flux line will represent secondary part. Okay, so E2 in the denominator means below the flux line and this one in the above. And this angle is 90 degrees because that is leading or lagging by pi by 2. Now, flux is taken as my reference. If flux is drawn from 0, I is starting from this one point only. What is E1 and E2? It should lag by 90 degrees. See, it is lagging by 90 degrees. Pi is starting from 0. E1 and E2 is starting from 90 degrees. So it is lagging by 90 degrees. This is in case of ideal transformer. Now, on load what happens? Now what we'll discuss on no load, but it is a practical transformer. Now, in practical transformer, if current is flowing through this winding, there will be some power losses over here, and there will be some losses in this magnetic core. Now we'll represent those same things over here. We just follow the steps what we actually do. Okay, this the whole thing I have drawn in the previous slide as a total diagram, but over here I have drawn using steps. Just 1 second. Okay. First what we did, we used phi m. Next what we did, we drew our E2 because it was lagging by 90 degrees. Next what we did, E1 and E2 was drawn in the means below the flux line only over here, but E1 brought in the opposite side minus E1. That's why I'm telling it as V1 dash. So V1 dash is equal to minus E1. Next, now since this I is now contributing to some losses in this winding as well as producing some magnetic loss, it will not means this is I, okay, not I not. This will not completely produce this phi m. Okay, so this will now produce some part of the loss in the core as well as produce this flux also. So I have kept it lagging by some angle phi naught. This phi naught is called your no load power factor angle. You know power factor, cosine of the angle between voltage and current. See, this is a voltage over here. This is a current. So I have taken phi naught over here. I don't tell why, sir, over here phi naught is not taken. Phi indicates your power factor, so I can't take the angle between I and phi. Okay, I have to take the power factor angle only between voltage and current. So phi naught is over here. Now, so if this is the angle phi naught made between the current and the voltage, it will have two components. Think mathematically, it will have two components. One is your y-axis component, one is your x-axis component. So one is your x-axis component, which is IW, or called your working component. That means since it is coming in phase with the voltage, since this IW is coming in phase with the voltage, it will produce the heat loss or the I squared R loss in the winding on no load. And this IM part of I naught will solely produce the flux phi m. Means I am just, these are all fictitious components. We are just trying to break this I naught into two parts to understand what is happening actually in a transformer. So I naught is basically producing the loss in this means in this winding as well as producing the flux. So which part of I naught is producing the loss? That is IW. Which part of I naught is producing the flux is IM. That is my actual mode of point of study. So IC, or actually IW, I'll correct this, IW is your working component of no load. In many books you will see IC also, and IM or IMU, in many books they have written IMU also. IMU is called your magnetizing component of no load current. Okay. Now what we have to do is, since we since this is an electrical topic, we need to represent any circuit in terms of electrical quantities. So we need to represent that in terms of RLC. voltage source, current source. See, whenever I'll tell, you have studied control system, I think so. এটা তো পড়েছো, এই common thing, I think
Very.
control system is there. You have heard about the term mathematical modeling. কোন সিস্টেমের ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল মডেলিং করছো, ঠিক আছে? ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল মডেলিংটা করলে তারপর তুমি what you can do, you can convert your using force current analogy, force voltage analogy, you can convert a magnetic system into electrical system. So when you are representing, I hope so you are understanding my words, your torque, theta, everything is being replaced by your RLC. So when you are talking about electrical system, there will be a voltage source, current source, RLC. I can't say this as an electrical system. This I will say is it has a EMF, this has a voltage source, this has some currents flowing, but I can represent this whole transformer in terms of only electrical quantities, RLC. Okay, that is my next task. Drawing an equivalent circuit of a transformer. Drawing always this core, this wires, this load is not feasible. So always we have to draw in terms of electrical quantities. So that's why what we'll do next is represent this IW and IM in terms of electrical quantity. How will you represent? Please mark my words. See, IW is producing my power loss. In an inductor, obviously a power loss will not be there because you know average power through an inductor is 0. But power loss can be there in a resistor. So can I represent this IW to be a current flowing through a resistor? And this IM is solely producing flux. In RLC, among the three, when a current flows through the element, in which element flux is produced? Obviously an inductor. Current through a resistor doesn't produce flux, current through a capacitor doesn't produce flux. But when a current flows through an inductor, flux is produced around it. Or when a current flows through a coil, just now we are seeing when a current flows through a coil, flux is produced. So I can represent this IM by an inductor. And what is my supply now? V1. This one supply is producing one single current IE or I0 if I say, and that I0 is divided into two currents IW and IM, which is represented by a resistor and inductor. Can I say this I0, can I say like this, one resistor and one inductor is connected in parallel to represent IW and IM? You are understanding what I'm saying? Can I represent this IW and IM as inductor and resistor, first thing? And second thing is that can I represent the two elements in parallel? Because both these two, IW and IM, will add up to be phasor sum of these two will add and give up to I0. And what is my only single voltage? V1. Because in a parallel circuit, you know, there is only one single voltage and has many number of currents according to number of parallel. So this is basically a parallel circuit. So we have two components. One is magnetizing component, one is core loss component. Core loss component is RC, that is given by V1 by IC. XM, you can write capital XM also, whichever you like. Don't go after this convention, but it is represented by XM. Can be written as V1 by IM. Now, what is IW or IC? Okay, IW can be written cos component of I0. So there is written cos component of I0. I'll make all this correction in the slide, then I'll send you. Okay. Then IM is equal to I in terms of sin of. So IM is which side? Sine component, obviously. So IM is equal to I sin phi. And I is equal to square root of this. Because if you square this two term and add, you will get cos square plus sin square equal to 1. And I square equal to this square plus this square. So I is equal to square root of this. So up to this, if you have any doubt, you tell me, or we'll proceed directly into equivalent circuit and then stop today's lecture. এটা বোঝা গেছে তো মানে ফেজার ডায়াগ্রামটা কি করে আসছে, প্র্যাকটিক্যাল ট্রান্সফরমারে কেন দুটো কম্পোনেন্টে ভাগ করছি, এখানে একটাই কম্পোনেন্ট ছিল যেটা ডাইরেক্ট IE, মানে বেসিক্যালি ইন দিস পার্ট IM is directly equal to IE আগেরটা। ঠিক আছে, এখানে কিন্তু দুটো পার্ট হবে কারণ we are taking practical transformer, there will be losses. You have to represent that losses. এইবার যাচ্ছি ইকুইভ্যালেন্ট সার্কিট অফ আ ট্রান্সফর্মার। ঠিক আছে, দেখো ভালো করে দেখো, এই ওয়াইন্ডিং এর নিজস্ব কিছু রেজিস্ট্যান্স আর ইন্ডাকট্যান্স আছে। বিকজ ইট ইজ প্রাইমারি, অল সাফিক্স আর C1. So whatever the resistance and leakage in reactance over here, I'll say reactance because X, inductance is L, we call X is equal to 2 pi Fl. So R1 is equal to R1 and this is represented by JX1. This is V1. Current flowing through it is I1 in the circuit. I am thinking it load, on load, so I is replaced by I1. Okay. And if it is no load, this I1 will be nothing but IE, and this IE is broken into IC and IM. Okay, IC and IM. This IW I'll replace by IC, and this IC is flowing through a resistor, as now told, and this IM is flowing through a inductor. And this is my primary side. Secondary side will have N2 turns, E2, and this winding will have some internal resistance as well as leakage reactance, so JX2 R2, and there will be a load voltage over here V2. If there is load connected, then there I can represent over here ZL over here. This is the equivalent circuit of a transformer. So today we'll study up to this only. Next day we'll study impedance transformation. So we have many things over here. We have phasor diagrams, we have many things over here. If you have any doubt, you can discuss. আর পারলে এইটা এই রিভিউ প্রবলেমসে পারলে তোমাদের একটু স্ক্রিনশট তুলে নাও, তাহলে একটু বাড়িতে ট্রাই করতে পারবে। ঠিক আছে, স্ক্রিনশটটা তুলে নাও, তাহলে এই বাড়িতে ফর্মুলাগুলো যা যা ইউজ করেছে ওগুলো দিয়ে ট্রাই করতে পারো, দেখো অ্যান্সার কি হয়। আর আমি চেষ্টা করবো নেক্সট দিন মানে এই